welcome to another Parts Factory installation video. Today we're going to be throwing an outside door handle on this 2005 to 2011 TK Barina Hatchback. Now the hatchback does have a one-of-a-kind handle. The sedan does have a different type of handle. They're both quite commonly repaired and broken, but currently we only have the hatchback style design. Now it's a fairly straightforward design and repair process. We're going to take the inner door card, the inner skin off the inside of the door. We're going to undo the two 10mm bolts straight through the gap behind this handle. We're going to pull the handle out, chuck the new one back in, attach the rod and the key barrel, and yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. It's a very, very straightforward task. As long as you follow the little tips and tricks that I give you on the way, it's going to be very easy. I'd probably say you could get this job done in 25 minutes if you've done something similar to this type of job before. Alright, let's get into it. Right, now straight away what we can see from just by inspecting it on the outside of the door skin, we can see that this handle has a Phillips head screw. We have a Phillips head screw down underneath the speaker. You can use your finger to actually feel along to find the others. I can find one here. I can find one here. And usually straight in the coin pocket on the door skin itself. Alright, we'll remove those bolts and we should be able to pull that door skin off. We're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to start with the inner handle screw. And careful not to let it drop out of sight. Sometimes you can just drop it out of the handle, give it a little tap and it'll drop into your hand. Stick it on the floor of the driver's side. Run your hand around the outside. You will find a screw underneath the speaker. It can be hard to line up the Phillips head with the screwdriver. There it is there. If you've got a cleaner ground, you could actually get down and look at that just to speed things up a bit. Third screw is here. There it is. Is there another one? Yes, there is. The fourth screw. Okay, 4 Phillips head screws all on your mat. Each screw does look pretty much the same. I wouldn't be worried about mixing them up. We have one Phillips head screw in what they call the coin pocket of the door. That looks like it's a one-of-a-kind screw. I would probably say that this handle, I'm looking at this outer ring of this handle, I'd probably say that it actually pops off. If you had a flathead screwdriver, you could pop that, you could put it in there and you could pop it out. I also know that they fall out when you pull the door card off the door anyway. You would probably use your flathead. I don't have one on me, that's okay. At this point, you would start at the bottom left and just see how that... Can you tell I've done this before? There we go, she's off. We've got to the bottom right now. Now if it does feel like it's not coming, you've missed a screw. We can all count to 5, I'm hoping. This trim here usually just pops off. Yep, it's a one-way clip. To put that back on, it's just a solid smack. This little, what do they call that? A bloody snipper button, snippet button, that's right. Should just lift the door cup up beyond that. Now, once the top comes off, the last thing to do is to undo the inside of your master control switch. All you do is press down on that tab. Rule of thumb, push up first, then pull down. But usually press in, pull out, door card's off. Let's move that out of our way. Now, Lucky for us, we are doing something over here and not something that takes up this whole thing, because sometimes you've got to pull all this stuff off. We don't, we just have to pull this corner off, doing a little bit of an operation. Now if your window is in the down position, which I'm unlucky that mine is, throw your key back in your ignition. There's nothing to worry about having the battery connected. Turn it on to the on position. Throw your window up. There it goes, get it right out of the way. Okay, now unplug your door card and we're back to where we started. Key back off, key out of the ignition. Right, next step. I'll grab the camera and show you what the next step is. One sec. Right, first of all, it's probably best for you to actually look at the new part so you understand what we're looking at on the inside of that door. Right, so pull your handle out of its packaging. And you will see this. And this is what it looks like on the inside of your door. It's a right-hand drive, so on the inside of that door, that is how it's situated. That is how it would be seen if you were tiny and could fit inside of a door. The rod to the actuator, and the actuator is actually just a lock mechanism. It opens, well, it secures the door closed. The rod travels from here down to the mechanism, and that is exactly the function that the door handle provides us. It unlocks it, which is awesome. Now the lock barrel goes in here, and it is, I believe it's, it's either held in from this 10mm bolt, or there's some sort of slide and rotate sort of method to it, but we're going to have a look once we get in there closer. Right, so inside the door we can see there is that 10mm bolt that we need to get, and you can see, or maybe not, if I had a light you'd be able to see, oh, you can see it shining. I've managed to rig up my phone flashlight just so you guys can see it, but there's no real trick to this. You'll be able to see in there better, so let's give it a shot. Right. Now, the next tools required are a 3/8 drive extension bar, a 10mm socket of any form, preferably 3/8 drive, and any form of leverage device, preferably snap-on or good old-fashioned wrench. The next step, firstly, we remove that one on the left, as it is the easiest one. Throw it over to the left. Let's just remove that second one so we know what we're dealing with. Nothing's... I can already see that the handle's actually basically ready to fall out. Anyway, I'll grab that bolt out. I can also feel that the lock barrel is wanting to fall out this direction, which is good news, because that means that the only rod we have left to disconnect, as this one has fallen out, is this one. Now you can see here, all we want to do is slide that to the left. You can do it with your fingers if your fingers are disgusting like mine, disgustingly masculine. Slot that to the side, the rod should pop out hopefully. Some are harder than others, let's put it that way. Give it a shot, see what happens. Alright, so the lock barrel can actually just pop back a bit, but that top one, I think if you use your right hand, put your hand right up in there and you can feel a little tab. This is the bit where most will probably get stuck with, but as long as you have faith in what I'm saying, we should be right. Ah, yeah, no, that is bloody tough. I'm gonna use my left hand. Actually, I'll use my left hand this way. Yeah, okay, I use my left hand, put my finger right up under, slotted it to the side. Now I should be able to simply push that rod out, and the handle's actually falling out the other side of the door. I'll show you what I mean. Hey man, something's up with your door handle, bro. It's falling out. Oh yeah, dude, it's been like that since I bought it. Oh yeah? Right, now, generally we're replacing these door handles because the actual handle, this piece here, tears off. Pew, gone. Then you're left with nothing. I've seen people replace them because they're faded. Sure, it's cheap enough to justify that, but look, most of the time the actual handle snaps off. Our Parts Factory pieces are actually made from tougher plastic than factory. We guarantee them for 3 years, although they're probably more likely to last 10 unless you are a monster. Anyway, my point is they're available on our website, www.partsfactoryoz.com.au. We do have a lot of videos like this one already done, coming out in the future. Hopefully one day I can afford, with your help, to set up a larger factory, an actual factory with full-time film and development crews. That's the dream. Anyway, for now it's just me. If I could get you to like and subscribe to our channel, because why not? Helps me greatly. Takes you a second, doesn't matter. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to show you how to put this handle back in that door properly. So let's get straight back into it. Thank you. Right, so I don't know if you could put that rod in before you put the handle in. I'm gonna just try it in front of you. Let's slot that rod in if we can. Yeah, no, see, as we take it to the left it wants to spin. Okay, put that rod back inside. Now you want to start in, you kind of want to scoop it up in there. Scoop it up. Now, from previous experience, there are 2 tabs, kind of like pressure tabs. You actually have to, yeah, you see how that pops in there like that? But you want to get that exterior seal in properly if possible. It's not absolutely necessary to have it. Right, so I've just attempted to put that in, but didn't have luck with the seal around the outside. I'm just going to compare that to the old one. Let's have a look here. Right, so the old handle actually has silicone. The new handle, okay, yes. Yep. Okay, so when we put that in there, I want you to focus on lining up that seal that's included with our handle, so that as you push it in, it equally seals around the outside. And as I said before, there are pressure clips along the bottom here on our handle, so that it's not all on the bolts, it's actually situated in there, then the bolts hold it in place. Now that that's in there nicely and the outside seals in well, it's time to go back around to the other side. We'll get that lock barrel in, we'll get that rod in, we'll put those 2 10mm in, then we'll test to see if it works. If it's all good, door card back on. Remember, not forgetting to plug our master switch in, and we're actually all done. Incredible. Let's get into it. I would recommend putting at least one of your 10mm back in the handle. Now, from what I can see here, there were 2 different length 10mm. The left side gets the short side, the short bolt, sorry. Now it's plastic. One click, even less. Okay, next step, let's get that rod in. This will probably take the most amount of coordination out of anything. Maybe put the lock barrel, just slot the lock barrel in to get it out of your way. Once that's out of your way, maybe lining up the rod will be a little easier. Currently, I have put this bolt in, but I want to get that rod up to here. So what I'll do is I'm going to get that lock barrel, I'm going to put it in there, slot it in there so it's out of its way so the rod can move freely. Then the rod will come up, slot in there, lock on, bolt in, done. Gooey stuff. If you do have that and you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, put a little bit on the end of the bolt. You can actually stick it in there and see how the bolt doesn't fall out? Tricks, bro. See, look, straight in there. You're not going to drop your bolt. Line her up. Okay, so lock barrel's back in. We put our rail back in place. Now we should have our last final rod that needs to go into the handle. I'd probably say that this will require the most amount of patience out of anything. Get that rod back over towards where it needs to be. God, you wouldn't want to do this as a career. Right, so once you put that little clip around the, once you can actually get the rod into the handle and rotate the clip around, now the next step is to actually test to see and make sure that it's working. Right, now, before you do that, make sure you either have the key on the outside and that the electric button works. Because if it doesn't work, you've done something wrong, you run the risk of not being able to get in your car. So let's just put it into the locked, what do we got? We got the unlocked position. That's the unlocked position. Should be able to shut the door and open the door. We should also be able to shut the door, lock the door, then re-unlock the door and open the door. If that's all good, then you've done a good job. Job complete. Right, so if you've managed to put the handle in the door, confirm the lock barrel is working, confirm the door does open and shut from the exterior and lock, then it's time to put the door card back on. Right, first step, I recommend putting the window down. Makes it much easier to line up the door card. Right, in order to put this door card back on, you chuck the window down. We want to put, first things first, we want to put the nipper button through the hole just there. We want to raise the door card above the metal sill along the end. The only true way to know what I mean just there is actually by looking. If you do pop this little cap off, don't lose it. It is ugly without it. Now, when I say hang the door card over the metal sill, when you have take your door card back off, if you need to, have a look at the sill, have a look at the design of the door card, you will see it's almost like a hook, and the hook actually sits over the metal, and it holds up the door card. Right. Now, once we get to the point where you can see the door card's hanging there, but it's obviously not finished, you should actually be able to, based on previous experience, it will be kind of automatically lined up. Gravity does that for us. Now we should be able to then put this little nipper button cover back on. I'm not sure how that happens from the outside, but it looks like it's just like anything. Yep, okay, so that's working. Now, first things first, the most pressure or the most force when you open the door It's usually exerted on the coin pocket screw. That's done. We want to put the ones around the edges. I'm going to leave the door handle for last. Now, don't make these screws too tight. They're not really doing anything, they're not vibrating, they're just kind of fixing the plastic to the door. So you don't want them so tight that if you ever had to perform any repairs on this car again, you wouldn't be able to get it undone. You'd actually thread the head of the screw. How you get a screw out that's threaded, I do not have a video for that. Go around the outside, all 3 bolts along the bottom. And the last one is the one to the opening handle. Should be pretty solid. Yep. And the ring, now you want to have a look at this ring. It's not symmetrical side to side. It's this side here with the little male piece hits this side here with the little female piece. And I'm not sure the order of operation, but I'm pretty sure it would be left to right, or maybe right to left. Yeah, sure, right to left. Male in first, and then push that side there. This piece here, you're lining up that little male piece, that little female piece, slot it in like that, line her up to where it looks right, and then one big hit. Yep, it's looking right. It's a funny design, doesn't matter. Am I done? That's it. Job is complete. Providing I remembered to do my switch, which I did. Done that many times. Do not forget. Do not forget. Right. Okay, let's clean up. Right, another job done. We've thrown the outer handle on. It seems to work perfectly. Now, you may note that the colours were different. Yes, that's because this one, 2008 Beyond, Series 2, they colour matched the door handles. Now, in the automotive industry, panels are sold, they call it generic colour or plastic colour, and that means basically free game. Paint it if you want, don't paint it if you don't want. Obviously, I can't sell tailor-painted cars. Paint codes vary so much. But you can always now take this car to a painter. He will mask around the edge of the handle. He will spray it. That is hoping that your car isn't a custom color. If it's a generic color, generic for the model, hopefully he will actually already have a pre-mixed paint can. It'd be $100 spray, maybe less, maybe 80, maybe free if you know them. Anyway, the job's done. If you are interested in seeing more videos like this, or you know you will need more videos like this, like and subscribe our channel, please. I don't push this often. People keep telling me to sign off. So my name's Lucas Strabsch, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.